The spirit of the ancestors, Earth's religions. I think I'm ready for that. Am I missing anything? So today is St. Patrick's Day. It is the most celebrated holiday around the world. That's not related to a country. It's replicated throughout the world. From a little island that's not that significant in human history, but it's produced a lot of imagery, a lot of ideas, and a lot of folklore. And I've been working on this and thinking a lot about this. I'm really intrigued by the religious spiritual impulse that's a part of the human experience. So let's set the setting. We're in the 3rd century after Jesus lived. The Roman Empire is not crumbling, pretty well shot. All that was stable in the world, even the temperature, has been in flux for half a century. And the story goes that there was this young Roman Christianized Briton who got kidnapped by pirates from the island of Britain. Remember, he's Roman. And Daddy was an archdeacon, and Granddaddy was some type of church official. Now this is the 3rd century, 4th century of Christianity, up until Constantine in 321, I think, or about 314. Christianity was outlawed. But in the middle of the 4th century, Constantine, the Holy Roman Empire, who would become the Holy Roman Empire, designated freedom for the Christian worshippers in his vast kingdom. Back up a little bit more. In the first 2 centuries after Jesus' death, his followers went out to the known world at that time, which is the Mediterranean Sea, the Roman lake, and started telling the world about this fellow. A lot of them were influenced by Paul's admonitions about the resurrection, the blood sacrifice, the modality that explained Jesus' life in the form that many, many people view in the existing mythology of a dying God that becomes resurrected. That became sort of the party line that Paul put together. But it wasn't necessarily what the story was. But that really didn't matter. Because in this period, 300, 400, 500 of the Western civilization, the people around the Mediterranean, and into the dark woods of Western Europe, some things were changing, and were changing a lot. The stability that was Rome is gone. The pagans have been whooped down. The pagans, the Druids, the Earth people, have been beaten or subdued. But there's really a vacuum. There's nothing going on. There's no great Roman peace. The legions are going home, going back to a chaotic society. And the stabilizing force, the energy that's in culture then, is this new Christian faith that has not been solidified yet. It's still ever who's out there preaching it. And they're preaching different things. The organization, the ritual, the creeds, the doctrines will be established in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th century. They'll get locked in about the 8th century. And that's where they are today, for all good purposes. So what we're seeing about the time of St. Patrick is all this turbulence in the world. Now, we don't know how the people lived really in that time. But before this story of this Jesus, this carpenter, this regular fellow who came down as God and sacrificed and said, I'll give you a new life, I'll give you a new identity, I will give you eternity in paradise, that didn't look too bad. This ain't no good. We're grubbing out of life. We're hungry all the time. We don't know nothing but fear. Few people got everything. I think I'll buy this. I think I'll buy this. I think I'll organize my life around this. And there's some ethics and morals that come along with it. How to treat one another. How to look for justice. See, the seeds of the miracle and the wonder that's Jesus is found in the stories. Because he hung out with the outcasts. He hung out with the destitute. He liked the whores. He liked the tax collectors. He didn't like power. Didn't like it at all. So I always have a chuckle when I see the Bishop of Rome and the Cardinals with their finery on. I'm going, goodness gracious, man, you come a long way from Jerusalem. But that's how we do things. That's how human beings do things. We forget the heart and go for the fluff. So, back to the story. Patrick was a devout Christian convert from a family of Christians. Then he moved to Northern Ireland in the early 400s, preaching this story of God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. In three persons, giving an opportunity for a paradise for the faithful. And he had a shamrock, a cobra, and he showed them the three views. And he made an illustration of that. That's what God is. And I think he probably talked about love. And he probably talked about justice. And he may have even talked about kindness. But he offered to the people, sort of bankrupt, sort of destitute, sort of struggling, with some sense of identity and security and hope. Well, folks, that will sell. Look what's happened in this country with 76 million Americans voting for Charlotte. A good story will work. And that good story worked for St. Patrick. The only problem is we have to look at the rest of the story. The great people of Britain, the original people of Britain, Ireland, they were connected with the earth. Their religion was the earth. The deities were found in the enchantment of life. Everything had a spirit. Everything was alive. Everything was alive. I was saying to someone this morning, I did a lot of study once upon a time about Native Americans. One of the things I learned, which is of the earth religions, if you're a hunter, and if you're on the hunt, you're there not for sport, not to see how good your shots you are, but to bring some protein and meat back home, whether it be a bird or an animal or a deer or something smaller. And the deer is glorified. Awesome and raccoon will too if you're hungry. But one of the things that's important to understanding the story is that before you take the shot, before you make the strike, you offer a prayer to the Spirit of that animal. Words of gratitude. Sorry about this. My family's hungry. It's an honorable thing that I do. Now, to me, that is chill bump stuff. Because what it says, human beings have the capacity to acknowledge the relatedness that's there. We're not objects. We're subjects to it. We're a part of this energy called life. I don't think it ends. I don't think it begins. I just think it is transformed. Now, Mary died 2 weeks ago. My son died 6 weeks ago. Death is just a part of this crap we have to go through. And in America, in the world, we dwell on the losing, not the giving. My son was a hero, just a regular fellow. Mary was a hero, just a regular woman who threw her life and did her work. And that was being a good human being. Now see, we'd rather have parties, we'd rather put on nice costumes and robes and build great buildings rather than keeping it simple and stupid. It's about caring and understanding that we are related. Earth religions were here with humanity's consciousness. We weren't daughters. We look around and we go, this is pretty cool. Now let's relate to it. We better be recognizing that life changes things. Wasn't it hot 2 weeks ago? Isn't it raining now? Something's in charge bigger than me. And I think my job would be to get in relationship with it. And some people could come along and say, oh, it's all about blood. It's all about blood. Gotta have a blood sacrifice. Let's do a lamb. Let's do a chicken. Let's do a human. Let's up it. Well, you could have your snobbish critique of the sacrifices of human life. But to me, that shows an ethic that's pretty refined. The most precious thing around is another life. And if we give that for the whole good of the people, is that so bad? If it solves our problem? Well, the problem is it doesn't connect with it. Relating it doesn't work. The system is still going to be there. So the thing that's worshipful, the thing that's sacred, the thing that's a wonderful opportunity is for us to have a life in recognition of relatedness. To enjoy the flowers as it's a creation that we didn't do anything about. And that little mama of mine, that my granddaddy, grandmother made, that I came along from, who shared a lot of the grit that I am and a lot of the determination that I am, gifted. I'm thankful. And you and your retrospect, you looking back at your biography, the theology that's your biography, you can find the gifts of blessings and grace there too. Oh, there's going to be devils. There's going to be evil. There's going to be things that never should have been. And if you let them capture you, if you let them curse you, that's a sad use of your powers. It's regrettable that you do that. Because the evil and the ugliness is not what is intended. The beauty is what is intended. March the 17th in the Northern Hemisphere is a pretty good time to say yes to living. Those yellow flowers are up. I took a picture of them yesterday at McDonald's and put them on Facebook. That's my acknowledgement of Mother. That's my acknowledgement of spring. And that's my recognition that it's working. It's still working. I'm here to hurt in the morning. And I'm here to hurt at noon when I think about Adam. And I'm here to hurt at night when I go to sleep and wish my body was a little more comfortable. But I'm also thankful because I got you. I got a car that's paid for. I got enough money in the bank to eat somewhere. See, life doesn't take a whole lot to be full and beneficial and wonderful. You have a rich history and story that you're going to look at. You have problems in our society. Okay, folks, this is the news. Okay, I want it on all of the networks tonight. What's going on in the politics of the United States is the last stand of resistance to what's going to be coming. Because right now in this culture, we have nearly 50% of the people who are scared of the future. We've got nearly 50% of the people who are brave enough to risk what we can become. And the winner, they're not going to be winners. The survivors will be those who know that the best is to come because that's all we got. We got to make it that way. We got to make it that way. And old white men who are dictating the world, they're gone. They know that. That's what all this craziness is about. They're fighting back. There's no consciousness in the psyche that are trying to push back at the hope that the new age will bring. Boy, did I get out on a limb today. Okay. The spiritual religious task is to work out an identity that can Who are you? I'm a child of life. I'm a child of mother and dad. I'm a child of Southern white supremacy. I'm a child of Western culture that thinks they know everything. I'm a child of life that's still capable of learning, blessing, embracing the wonder. And I have an opportunity through my talent, through my skill, through my courage, to share that image with others. And attempt to open up an understanding that the blessing is ours to have if we be open. If we gentle with this thing. We're going to die? Yeah, I don't like that idea. I don't like that idea at all. And I will never become comfortable. But I'm not going to fret about it. Because it's going to be what it's going to be. And the wonder is still for us to make possible. Okay, I'm